Well, hello. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yep. Hi
Mm.
there.
Hi, it's lovely to see you.
Yeah, literally. It's a
Um,
beautiful day.
what? Sorry.
Beautiful day today, too.
Yes, absolutely. So I hope it's okay. We are recording. I am recording for audio, of course, but
Yes,
also, would it be okay if I posted this interview on YouTube? And if you don't want it on there, that's okay too.
I think it would be great.
Okay, wonderful. So have that. Consent is always good. Let's see. What else? So we'll talk about the event. I do have a couple interviews that kind of piled on quite a few interviews for next Monday's show. I was preempted last night as KFAI was celebrating 24 hours of Latina culture day, which was awesome. So I'm behind. So I do have a couple interviews and I do try to just keep them like 15, 20 minutes long,
Sure.
and we'll just talk about the event, and I'll
Okay.
do a proper intro, but just wanted to thanks for sending me that track. So I'll play that in the show as well. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay. I know, I feel like you don't need a lot of prep. I feel like you're ready.
Well, I've I've got a few notes of maybe that would help me, but other than that, we'll just kind of see how it goes.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I don't tend to ask a lot of questions. I kind of just give a lot of space, I guess, for I mean, it's about you, right? It's not about me. I try to
Okay.
back
Okay.
off. But I usually only have like two questions prepped. Well, I usually don't tell people that. Well, you're getting all kinds of dirt. So you get the backstory. You're the insider now.
Okay.
So yeah, I usually don't have a lot of questions prepped and just kind of ask questions in between it. But I guess I just give a lot of space for ours to talk because it's your time. It's not mine.
Hmm.
So that was a lot of blabbing. I like your lipstick.
You know, I make sure I have it on all the time because it makes me look younger. Yeah, I'm a few years older than you, and I'm still doing really well. I'm in my 70s and I feel real good about it, and my voice is still working, and I am also still gigging, and just started songwriting, believe it or not, just 2 years ago. I never considered myself a songwriter. I never wrote a song. I have done singing telegrams before where I take a familiar melody and I change the lyrics. I've done that quite a few times. But I was taking after some years, I've been a singer and I also was a music educator. So I did know a little bit about, music and theory, but I started taking piano lessons from a jazz piano player. And I was kind of curious about the jazz chords and the voicings. And I was working on those chords, and I was going back and forth on these chords. And I thought, oh, that would, as I was practicing the chords, it came to me that, oh, let me think of a chord progression that would work good for a song. And little by little, I started writing a song that I from those chords, the melody and then the words. Um, so it's just kind of interesting. I have about 30 songs. I'll be doing 14 in a show coming up. I had to select which ones I would do, and I'm trying to do songs that I know very well. It's funny, even when you write a song, you have to memorize your own songs because they come kind of quick. And so I took some time to choose which songs I wanted to do, and then I will tell a little bit about my background as I'm doing here, where I want to explain that I've been singing ever since I was very little, and that I've always had the belief that I was a singer because my mom planted the idea. Um, Meaning that when I was very little, I know I was 4 years old while my older sisters were at school. She spent a lot of time reading books and teaching me songs. And I remember one day she said to me, "This is a gift from God. It came through me and my mother." So she explained that she had a talent for singing as well as my grandmother. And so I got my music from my mother's side, I guess. And she gave me encouragement, but also I was doing then solos in church and school, 4-H, all kinds of things. So ever since I was very little, I believed I had this destiny to be a singer, and I guess it's true because I'm still here, and I just am so thankful and grateful to be at my age, still having the voice work and also having so many opportunities to sing.
That's wonderful. I know you've always have quite a few gigs going on.
Mm,
You're always busy with
yeah,
performances, and that's so incredible. Even during like, the pandemic, it seemed like you still had a lot. And there's, I mean, no, that's
yeah,
not.
there were. Well, there were some outside gigs that were allowed, if they said that if you're outside. So there's a band I'm in. Through the years, I've been in so many different groups, but in my later in these last few years, I'm in a swing band. For the last 6 years, I've been in a swing band. It's called Swinging on a Star, and we had a number of outside gigs in parks. That one of those first 2 summers, and even the second summer, we had some this summer too. But that was one way we could still gig. But certainly there was some time that I wasn't. As a lot of people were just kind of laying low. And it was kind of a sad thing, but that also was the time when I was writing songs. So I think other people had been doing that too, where trying to keep creativity flowing and keeping keeping the spirit of music going through the pandemic. And as I was alone, um, I found something to do. I'm always finding something to do. I'm never bored.
Yeah, I was wondering how much the pandemic had to do with your songwriting and kind of
It
sparking that interest, was if that was connected, and
it was connected, but it wasn't the total reason. However, like I went to New Orleans 2021, and it was still wearing the masks and thing, and I was stuck in a hurricane there. I guess I stayed too long. I always go to New Orleans because I I love going there, singing and hearing the music. I did a CD there. The song that you heard, um, Old Black Magic, was from that. But anyway, so New Orleans is just something I always like to do, and it's such a difference from Minnesota. So it gives me balance. But very briefly, I'll say that I was there for 3 weeks, and I had heard there was a hurricane, and I was actually watching someone's house and their pets, and I was advised, it's probably going to be okay. But I went into a hotel, and luckily, I guess I did. But all the lights went out, but basically the electricity stayed off for several weeks because I found out that 3 terminals fell in the Mississippi River. But anyway, after the hurricane was over, the next day I found out that there was no way for me to take an airplane out of town, and so that the fact that I was in the hotel, I guess, was fortunate because they arranged for a special bus, about 50 of us, to go to Houston, which was 7 hours away, to catch a plane to get home wherever I had to go. So anyway, so that oddly enough was the first song that I wrote. It was a memory of that whole adventure. It was a scary one, but as I wrote it, first of all, I wrote the story, and then I did it in just a basic blues progression. That was the first song, and that was 2021, and that was, as I say, during the pandemic, but things were, in some ways, you could still get around, but you had to show your vaccination card and stuff. Anyway, so it did parallel at the same time with the pandemic, but it was so that when I got back, I wrote that song, and I had more time alone in the house too, that I started writing other songs. But I say it has a lot to do with also the fact that I was taking piano lessons from this piano player that gave me some kind of unique chords that I was playing with, and wanted to use them in the songs. And also I did some that were just basic blues.
Oh, nice. Nice little variety.
Yeah. And then I came up with some songs. I'm not going to, as I say, I'm not going to do them all at this show. Some of them are wisdom, you could say, from looking back. Some, like there's a song about change, you know, and embracing change, and also just the idea. Oh, there's one song called My Life. I kind of thought about my life and people that I'm thankful for, and places and encouragement. Anyway, I just wanted to do it also from a perspective of my age. I have a love song called We're Not Too Old to Give. And then there's also one, oddly enough, about spending time alone. Well, during the pandemic we did, but I found that in a relationship, it's good to have some quality time and time alone, so you can, you know, not only be by yourself, but do what you have to do to, as I consider myself an artist, I do need time alone to create and think and do that.
Absolutely. All of those things are important.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the show. Where is it at? When is
All
it?
right. Yeah, I have Saturday, September 30th at 7:30 for a show at a unique little place. It's called Fingal's Cave. It's in St. Paul. It's the downstairs basement club of 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 the Metronome Brewery. Now there's a Metronome Brewery, and they have music upstairs as well. That's at 385 Broadway. It's really right across from the CHS field in St. Paul. Also, there's the farmers market, so that area there. Um, and as you go downstairs, you'll see that it's a very well, I would say, decorated place. It's got a grand piano. It's got the brick on it, and it's a nice little bar. It's just a cute little room. It holds 50 people, we think.
Ooh.
And so it'll be an intimate place for me to do these. I'm also going to have, well, I'm going to have a piano player play my songs. I guess the man that taught me piano, I taught him my songs, you could say. And then I'm going to have a friend singer. Her name is Trish Sisson, and she's going to be she's going to be a host MC, and we'll do kind of a Q&A, kind of to get some of the ideas of who I am and where I came up with these songs and things. And then she's going to do some harmony on several of my songs. So again, it's at Fingal's Cave. It's a new place, I think, in the last few years, but a lot of jazz people have been there. But I
Okay.
decided to do my original songs there, and this is my debut. I have, as I say, just started writing songs 2 years ago, so this is the first time I've ever performed them in a bundle. Here's 14 of them all at once, and it's exciting. And I'm also going to have it videotaped, so I can have that documented as well.
That's wonderful. What a great, I haven't been to that space, but it sounds very intimate.
Mhm.
And what a great, lovely space for you to share what you've been
Yeah,
working on.
right, right.
That's wonderful. And now, so it sounds a little bit like a speakeasy. Do you need a password to
Yeah.
get in there or?
Well, no, you don't. But
Okay.
it'd be no, I don't think they do. But yeah, it is that kind of feeling.
Okay.
And it's going to be a ticketed show, $20 tickets that can either be purchased online at metronomebrewery.com, or you can just come and buy the tickets when you get there. So I'm hoping that there'll be, you know, a few people there that will serve as the not only audience, but it's going to be a live recording. And so it'll be a quiet time, you know, like everyone's turning off their phones and and hopefully listening. It'll just be a little over an hour show. So I'm considering it a show,
Okay.
not just a gig.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a big celebration.
Yeah.
It's a big moment.
Yeah. And
Congratulations.
it's nice that I have this new passion. Um, I've sung so many songs through my life, hundreds of them. And it's nice to have new songs that not only are they new songs, but they're my songs. And it's just like everyone needs a new excitement in their life. So uh I'm just really happy that I can do this, and I'm still um being able to perform something that is very personal to me. Mhm.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm so grateful that you're still sharing your gift with everybody,
Nice way
singing.
to put it. Well, it's a very spiritual thing too, as they say. I know um I've felt that I've been given this gift, and I've always been able to sing and share it, and I haven't stopped yet, and that's why I'm so excited to call this a spectacular life. I have a song called A Spectacular Life, and I'm saying that because you don't have to be a multimillionaire or a famous person to have a spectacular life. I think if you have reached your goals, or at least you have done your passion, is basically what it is. And again, I'm so thankful with all the opportunities and encouragement I've had through the years. It's just a blessing, if I could put it that way. And I don't take it for granted. I really don't.
I
And I'm
think
not done yet.
good, good. We still need you.
Right.
Well, I love this. I think it's just so exciting, this new chapter of music for you. And this
Yeah.
so exciting. I appreciate you reaching out to talk about this.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to do it. And was there any other question you wanted to ask me? I don't know.
I think we're okay. What? I mean, I would have a million other questions, but we'll keep it short because I could go on and on as
Yeah.
well.
Hmm.
What what other gigs do you have coming up? I know you always have a
Oh
couple
yeah.
things going on, but this is the big
Sure.
event. We want everyone to go
Yeah.
there. So I would highly recommend people get those tickets in advance, because if you wait till day out, you might not be able to get in.
Well,
It's a
I don't
small
know.
room.
It's possible. I would like to share what I do. Again, I'm in this swing band, and we have once a month we perform at the Eagles, the third Friday of the month. Eagles at 2507
Oh,
25th
yeah.
Street.
34.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we also, every other month, including now this month, we'll be at the Caves. So I do work, doing these swing dances, and that's fun. Then in addition to that, of late I have done a lot of gigs at Crooners. That's a club in Fridley, and what I've done some concerts there, but I've also been doing a lot of these things called Maggie's Lounge. It's a very casual thing where you can come to the lounge after your ticketed show. You can stay and have a drink and listen to some music, and I sing jazz standards with a wonderful piano player, Rick Carlson, and he and I are both, I guess you could call us, seasoned, and he knows a lot of songs. I know a lot of songs, and I do a lot of well, songs from the American Songbook, you could say. And that's one of my favorite things to do. It's just a duo, and I'm just delighted to play with him because we improvise a lot, and it's kind of a in the moment kind of thing.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So everyone just look for Dorothy Doring, but definitely go to it's it's within Metronome Brewing. Remind me of the
Yeah. It's called Fingal's Cave. Once you're in the Metronome, I know, I don't know where they come up with these names, but once you're in the Metronome Brewery, then you just go downstairs. Yeah. And and I have a website, dorothydoring.com, and I have an unusual name. I guess this is the name I was born with. I never changed my name. Um So that's also a place if someone is curious to see some things. I have some videos there and information about all my schedule and a couple things there, 5 pages of something to kind of give people a taste of what I sound like and what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today and for coming on the show. Congrats on this new journey. This is
New journey, that is so
exciting.
true. Yeah. This is one song. I'll just do it a cappella and I'll just do one verse. Fads and fashions come and go. Some stay for a while. Happiness is one thing that never goes out of style. So if you want to be happy, I've got some good news. Happiness is one thing that won't give you the blues. All right.
That was beautiful. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Goodbye.